Yo, Smelly Randy here. Today is Friday, April 3rd. So today is the last national park video. I know I said yesterday I was going to do Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks because I have a map from it. But the Great Smokies National Park was actually the most requested park that I got, and even though I have not been there and don't have a map for it, this morning the printer ink that I ordered showed up, and I said, you know what, the hell with it, let's print out a map and we'll do Great Smokies. Oh, and the other factor was I actually had a flight to Charlotte booked for April 30th, just in a few weeks, for a bachelor party. But I was going to spend the first day in the Smokies, so I already had like pretty much what hikes I was planning on doing planned out. So yeah, ink came, printed out a map, and let's go ahead and do Great Smokies National Park. Let's go. All right, so I was only going to have about a half day in the park during my planned trip later this month, which is now canceled. But when I started looking at the map and looking at hikes in the area, I figured out that like even if I had a full day, I probably would start the day the same way. So anyway, I printed out the map. Let's just go ahead and dive right in. Get an idea for what this park looks like on a map and where everything is. Just so we have a better feel for it, I'm just going to get way up in here. Alright, that should work. Okay, so looking at the map, the main roads are going to be the red ones, very similar to all the other maps. It looks like this big yellow line going right through the park here. And by the way, the park is all the green. Everything white up here and yellow down here is not within the national park boundaries. This yellow line going right through the middle here, that is not a road, that it's actually the Appalachian Trail. So it looks like we've got this nice big park with the Appalachian Trail going right through the middle. Looks like maybe one main road going along the north that kind of cuts down and has a little roundabout down here. And then one main road that cuts through this part of the park right here. That is Newfound Gap Road. A lot of switchbacks, and that probably goes up and over some mountains, and then down here. Not much for roads. This main road on the south is outside of the park, so I'm not concerned with that. But it looks like there could be some things off of this highway right here, right on the northern border of it. So, oh, and then right here we got a Mountain Foothills Parkway that is highlighted. It's red, but also highlighted green. I don't know what that means, but that looks like a potentially good scenic road. So, and I see right here it has Look Rock labeled on the map. No clue what that is, but yeah, that's what we're looking at as far as the general layout of the park. Now, I've already looked into hikes and everything that I would do. I basically have decided that and typically, because of sunrise and sunset, I would try to start somewhere in the west and then work my way east. That way, I'm in the west looking east for sunrise, and then by the time sunset comes around, I'm in the east looking west. So that's typically what I would do. However, the mountains that I'm most interested in the Smokies seem to be all right here off of this main road. Almost all the hikes that I'm interested in are off of Newfound Gap Road. However, let's say I get there and it's completely overcast. It's even raining a little bit. If that's the case, then I'm going to actually start in the west, and I'm going to check out this Cades Cove Visitor Center. And there is a hike to Abram Falls right here at the Cades Cove Visitor Center. Abram Falls, the hike out there, that's a 4.6 mile round trip. So you can knock that out in just about 2 hours. So should be able to hike that, be back at the car by 8 a.m. if we start at 6 a.m. When the sun will rise and it'll be plenty bright out to hike. So I think if it's crappy out, I'd start there and then work my way back. I'd basically do the loop drive, work my way back. Is there anything else there? I don't think there's anything else I would stop at right here. But then I would work my way back to toward the Sugarlands Visitor Center up here in Gatlinburg. And I would actually probably get breakfast at that point. If it's crappy out, do a quick waterfall hike to Abram Falls, drive back up here, go to Gatlinburg, and get breakfast. Now, I always pick out a couple breakfast spots. I love getting breakfast at little mom and pop diners, and that's what I look for. I don't like going to chains. I don't like going to some bigger place. So I started looking in Gatlinburg up here, and look at this friggin' place that I found. This is Crockett's Breakfast Camp. Look at this place. Crockett's Breakfast Camp. Giant skillet there for a sign. Looks insane. However, this place doesn't open up till 8 a.m. And if you're calling yourself a breakfast place and you got breakfast real big on your sign right there, you better open up way earlier than 8 a.m. I think that's absolutely ridiculous. So I am never going to go to this place. Instead, what I found in Gatlinburg, this is more my style right here. Mel's Diner. Classic little diner right there. They open at 7 a.m. every morning. So yeah, I'm going to do that hike. Then I'm going to go to Mel's, get some breakfast, and then move on. And when I say move on, actually after I get breakfast in Gatlinburg, am I still in frame here? Yeah. All right, so after breakfast in Gatlinburg, I see right here Roaring Fork Motor Nature Trail, which looks like it's a one-way counterclockwise here. So that, I looked it up, it's like a one-lane road through just a forest. So any potential opportunity to see some bears or anything else, I'm going to go ahead and take it. So we're going to drive around here after breakfast. Neat. And then now we're going to work our way down this main road here, Newfound Gap Road. And there's going to be more than a couple places you can stop and get views. However, right in the middle here, Newfound Gap, actually, yeah, it's just called Newfound Gap. Right in the middle where it intersects with the Appalachian Trail, that's where my hike is going to be. And that is the hike to Charlie's Bunyan. And also, this is exactly where I plan to start my day in the park if the weather is nice. If the weather's nice, I'm gonna get here by probably 4:30, 4:45, and I'm gonna plan to be at Charlie's Bunyan, which is right here. You're basically hiking the Appalachian Trail northeast until you get to Charlie's Bunyan here. So this is going to be my sunrise hike. If the weather is nice, I'm going to start right in the middle and then branch out after that. So yeah, Charlie's Bunyan. I actually, with all this printer ink I have, I printed out plenty of visual aids here. This is Charlie's Bunyan. Nice big rock if you want to get yourself or someone else as the subject with a nice backdrop. This is looking toward the east, so this should be a great spot for sunrise. So this is Charlie's Bunyan. And that happens, if you happen to get out there and it's too crowded, about 2.5 or 2.8 miles into that hike, there's a fork that goes off to a place called the jump off. And that's just another area with some steep cliffs that offers a big wide open view of the mountains. So basically you get a nice open view like this, but without the rocks or anything else in the foreground. So yeah, the Charlie's Bunyan Trail, all the way out to there and back. That's 8.6 miles round trip. So it'd be 4.3 miles to get out there in time for sunrise. So yeah, you'd have to start that pretty early, but that's what my plan would be, is to get there for sunrise because of the length of it. And sunrise being at like 6 a.m., I would bet that I would be the only person out there willing to hike almost 4.5 miles in time for sunrise. So that would be my plan. After that, you'll see there's actually a road right off of Newfound Gap Road that goes down here to Klingman's Dome. Now what this is, I looked this up. This is actually a man-made walkway at the top of a hill. Check that out. That's really interesting. I'm not a big fan that they built this thing on top of the hill out there, but I mean, since it's there, I'm gonna go check it out. So I actually wonder who built that. If that was actually the national. I mean, I bet it wasn't the national park system, but I have no idea. I'm gonna look into that. So yeah, that's Klingman's Dome. You can drive up to the top of that hill and then walk that curved ramp to get some nice views of the mountains. So that's a quick little detour. After that, so basically, if I start the day at Newfound Gap, I'm going to do that hike. I'm going to do Klingman's Dome. I might come up back north and do Chimney Tops hike after that. And then I might come up here and do the motor drive and then maybe go back this way. So yeah, I might kind of start here and then work my way back if the weather is nice. But continuing on, if the weather's crappy and I start here and then go to Newfound Gap, then I'm going to work my way out of the park to the south. And down here is, on the map here you can see Mingus Mill. Down around this area there's a waterfall called Mingo Falls. And you basically drive up to that one. That one says 0.3 miles round trip. So that's basically a walk from the parking lot. And that's Mingo Falls right there. So yeah, pretty nice, and doesn't really require any hiking at all. So I'd go check that out. That is somewhere around Mingus Mill down here in the south by the, what is that called? Akana Lufti Visitor Center, something like that. So yeah, I would do that. After that, that's pretty much it. That's, let me back out here. That's basically the extent of the hikes that I think I would have time for in one day. Because basically I said Abram Falls, that's 4.6. Charlie's Bunyan is 8.6. And then there's also another hike. Let me show you real quick. Somewhere by Abram Falls, in this area by this loop road. Let me zoom in. Somewhere off of this road, there's another hike to Spruce Flats Falls, and that is 1.8 miles round trip. So that's another short waterfall hike that you could add in there too. So yeah, that's pretty much I think all I would have time for in the park if I had one day. If I was trying to pick somewhere for sunset, I think I would just hang out up on Newfound Gap Road. I think the elevation up there is pretty high. In fact, it is. So Newfound Gap, where that road intersects with the Appalachian Trail and also where you would hike to Charlie's Bunyan from, the elevation up there at that point is 5,046 feet. which is probably like one of the higher points in the Smokies or in that area um, in general. So yeah, I think that's basically what I would do. It looks like there's plenty of scenic roads that you can drive. Um, Plenty of shorter, not strenuous hikes around, but those are the main ones that I would knock out if I had one day in the park. If you are, oh, the one thing I didn't talk about. So let's just assume that that newfound gap is the middle of the park, right in here. To get from here to Knoxville, Tennessee, it's an hour and 24 minutes. To get to Asheville, North Carolina from there is an hour and 35 minutes. Greenville, it's 2 hours and 34 minutes. I'm pretty sure there's an airport there. From there to Atlanta is 3 hours and 15 minutes. And from there to Charlotte is 3 hours and 34 minutes. So you have plenty of options for airports to drive into. I just wanted to give you an idea of roughly how far it is from all those potential places. From Nashville, it's 4 hours and 9 minutes, so that's one of the further airports. So yeah, Asheville, Atlanta, Charlotte, Knoxville, those are like the main airports that you'd want to fly into, where it's still under a 4-hour drive to get there. So yeah, that's that. If you are looking for other hikes or things to do in the area, obviously there are the cities themselves, Asheville and Knoxville being the closest ones if you want to go hang out in the cities. If you're looking for other hikes, there's a ton of other hikes in the area at surrounding state parks. Let's see. So Asheville is an hour and a half southeast from the park. And then just southeast of Asheville is Chimney Rock State Park. Look up a place called Exclamation Point, as well as Hickory Nut Falls at Chimney Rock State Park. Those have been on my list for a while. I wanted to try and do those last time I was in Asheville, but I didn't have time. Because instead, I went actually northeast of Asheville, and I went to the Mile High Swinging Bridge, and that is you drive to the top of a mountain basically, and then there's a long suspension bridge, and right in the middle you look down and it has like a plaque there that says like 5,280 feet above sea level. So that's pretty cool. North Carolina seems to like swinging bridges for some reason. There's that swinging bridge, and then actually there's another swinging bridge up in what's it called? Gatlinburg. Up in Gatlinburg, where I said I'd go get breakfast, there's another swinging bridge. It's called I think it's called Skyline Park, where they actually have like a ski lift that takes you up on top of a hill, and then there's just a long suspension bridge. I don't know why. They just wanted to create another tourist attraction. So that's also right around the Smokies if you're looking for another suspension bridge to check out. So yeah, I actually did the Mile High Swinging Bridge northeast of Asheville, and then I did a hike to Linville Falls. Yeah, that was actually a pretty good hike. I just remember being out there and it being so freaking hot and humid and disgusting, and I was losing my mind. I was getting eaten alive by bugs, and it was just gross. That was like the main memory I had from hiking last time I was out that way. So I try and stay out of the humidity, and I like Denver's dry air. So yeah, just to recap, that is Mingo Falls and Clingman Dome, Charlie's Bunyan, and of course my favorite, Mel's Diner. Open at 7 a.m. every day. So yeah, that's all I got. Hopefully, I can get out to the Smokies this year. Maybe I'll try and plan a trip in the fall when the leaves are changing. That would be really cool to go out there. Another thing that I know is in that area that I would like to do is there's like a Blue Ridge Mountain Parkway. Actually, I see it here. Let me show you. I just found it on the map here. I would drive many hours on this road. I don't know how far it is, but if I hold up the map here. All right, so in relation to where everything else was, here's the yellow one, Blue Ridge Mountain Parkway right there. I know that's a super long road and you can drive it for a very, very long distance. So that's another thing that you should do while you're in the area. And I will also certainly do that when I'm there. Yeah, so it looks like that Newfound Gap Road goes back down to that Okanalufty Visitor Center. And then it looks like maybe there's like, you just take a left onto Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm sure there's signs everywhere there. So yeah, that's it. I'm late on my video today. I took a late lunch, so I need to get going. But have a great weekend, everyone. I'm going to keep working on trip videos throughout the weekend and then just brainstorm what the heck I'm going to do for the next 5 days, next Monday through Friday. So have a great weekend. Until Monday. See you later.